Hi, welcome to Moonlit Fly Fishing, Fly Tie Night tonight. I'm Brandon Moon, and I'm really excited to bring to you today the Adams Sparkle Dun. This is a guide style type fly, real easy to tie, quick, durable, and deadly effective. The synthetic wing we use here allows you to add variation and make some different subtle changes to the wing if you choose. So with that, I want to make sure and invite you to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you receive future notifications of future tutorials and information, and then leave us a comment and let us know what your favorite Adams pattern is to fish in your waters, and we look forward to seeing you next time with the Purple Haze Sparkle Dun as well. We're going to tie this pattern today on the Moonlit Premium Tagata ML102 size 14. We're going to start this thread at about the 3/4 to 2/3 mark with 12/0 classic wax pale gray, and I'm just going to lay a nice small thread base down, and then I'm going to take some hog wing Teton colored wing material. I'm going to measure that out to be the length of the hook shank, and then I'm just going to secure that down with a couple wraps, loose for the first 2 wraps, and then I'll just kind of tighten it down, making sure I keep that on top. I'll lock it in place in front, and then we'll go back over the back side again, making sure that we've got that proportioned right. Now I'm going to trim out the back side of this. I'm going to angle it and trim it out. Now we'll just trim out a few pieces just to help make it so that it smooths out just a little bit better. I'm going to wrap this down and secure that down, and we'll just wrap it, creating a nice underbody all the way back to the bend of the hook. For this pattern, I tie it anywhere from a size 10 all the way down to a size 20. We're going to wrap this down to about the bend of the hook there. At this point, I'm going to take a small clump of the hog wing Teton material, and I'm just going to tie in my tail here, or shuck, and we'll just tie that in with a couple wraps over. I'm going to pull that up, put my scissors down, and then angle it down so I can create a nice smooth underbody and an even taper. So we'll wrap that forward to where that body tapered down to the hook, and then we'll wrap back again. And just before we get to the back side, I'm going to take my thread and create 2 wraps behind my tail just to help keep that tail propped out vertical. Now I'm just going to trim this just past that hook bend there. So I've got a nice shuck there. Now we're going to use Magpie's Wild Barred Turkey Bites, light gray. Make sure it's been moistened. You can leave it in water in a wet, damp paper towel, or you can moisten it with your mouth. Once I've got it moistened and ready, I'm going to tie that in with the ridge part on the bottom and the lighter translucent part on the top. And I'm going to have that tip go all the way just back where the back bulk of that front wing was tied in. And I'm just going to create a little bit of a taper just to kind of help smooth this body out just a little bit, going forward and backwards a couple times. Once I've got that, we're going to take and we're going to go in front of the wing. So I'm just going to pull that wing back and wrap in front with 2 wraps, and then I'm going to half hitch. Once I've half hitched that down, I'm going to take and set it off to the side and on my thread bobbin. Now I'm going to take my hackle pliers, and we're just going to wrap using the rotary feature this turkey biot. Now I want that ridged part of this biot to be on the back side so that I can create touching wraps and create a nice even tapered ribbed body here. And we're going to wrap that all the way up into the wing so that I get a nice smooth underbody. And I'm just going to lock that and secure it down with a couple wraps. 2 wraps over the top, 1 in front, and then that's going to lock it in. I'll let go of it with my hackle pliers. Now I'm going to rotate it so I can trim that out nice and good. Once I've got that trimmed, I'm just going to make sure I secure it down with a couple more wraps. For the thorax on this pattern, we're using Moonlit Fly Fishing Beaver dubbing, natural. This is nature's dry fly dubbing, so we love it for this. It's going to help repel the water and keep this fly floating more naturally. We'll take a small clump of this, because you don't need very much. Pulling it out of the bag so you can see that small clump there. And I'm just going to create a small tight dubbing rope on my thread. You can see I just twist it one direction. I don't twist it back and forth. And this is going to create a nice dubbing rope. We'll just put that amount down there. I'm going to wrap behind it, creating the back side of this thorax with 2 or 3 wraps, and then we'll pull the wing back and create the front part. Now I want to make sure that I've rotated that dubbing back and forth to clear and cover any parts from going to the front and back. Now I'm just going to kind of trim out the tips of this just so that they're more even. Clean that out. Just checking the fly here. Now I'm going to finish this, and before I whip finish, I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on my thread here. This helps create a nice strong head. I'll just lay that glue into the head there, and then I'll whip finish with the 2 or 3 turn whip. And this is just going to make it more strong and durable without using head cement. Trim that out. And there you have the Adams Sparkle Done variant. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening.